Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're looking at the Rivian company. The R1T demand has kept Needham bullish on Rivian. Needham reiterates a buy rating and $25 price target on Rivian Automotive Inc. after surveying the R1T inventory and updating their used car price tracker. And we do have a quote from their analyst. And I quote, "Our confidence in the R1T demand increases. Both the R1T and R1S continues to outperform in our data. Needham holds an optimistic view on Rivian Q4 data, highlighting the company's notable progress in sequential production as a significant sign of its manufacturing growth. This development has helped alleviate some concerns about the shutdown in the 24 R1 production line." Now, additionally, deliveries have surpassed Needham's expectation. They anticipated that the significant gap between production and deliveries will push up the consensus Q4 124 delivery estimate. They anticipate that the significant gap between production and deliveries will push up the consensus Q124 delivery estimates. They anticipate that the significant gap between production and delivery will push up the consensus Q1 2024 delivery estimates. This could potentially drive the stock performance in the first half of the year. This is shifting focus away from the current emphasis on the first half of 2024 gross margin. However, Needham's primary concern regarding Rivian revolves around the R1T inventories are representative of demand. After checking Rivian's inventory in late December and early January, they found an approximately 600 available R1T units. Based on past registration numbers, they estimate Rivian deliveries around 20 vehicles per day, indicating a 30-day supply of R1T inventory. This places Rivian ahead of other car manufacturers in terms of supply days, even before considering the R1S supply constraints. Now, if I'm being completely honest, I was already bullish on Rivian for the past couple of years, to be honest. Since the stock has hit the market, I've been bullish on Rivian. And I've constantly waited until the share price fall as cheap as possible. That was my one aim for Rivian. I knew the company would do great things. In fact, I still believe they will. Where Rivian is currently, every company starts at this place. It's a startup. It's a new brand. It's a new car company. Building the electric vehicles, it's not an easy feat. It's not an easy job. So understandably, I kind of knew that the Rivian shares would lose a lot of value from the IPO. The IPO was insane. One of the most craziest IPO I've ever seen. Quite similar to Coinbase. It was just crazy overvalue. But I knew the company was valuable. It's just that the stock was overvalued. So what was I supposed to do except for wait, be patient, watch the share fall as cheap as possible? And that's exactly what I did, and I bought as cheap as possible. And I have no regret. And by the way, this is not financial advice, it's just my opinion. What I do like about Rivian is that they've considerably outperformed the analysts. In terms of revenue, they've consistently done well. What was really impressive from Rivian was 2022 Q4. They made in revenue $663 million. Q1 of 2023, they made $661 million. Almost identical. Now, it's really rare for a company to continue the momentum that they've had in Q4 into Q1. That is really extraordinary. Usually they do extremely well in Q4. Everyone enjoys the Christmas break. Everyone goes away. When they restart the factory, things are off to a little bit of a slow start. That's quite normal. But I was really impressed to see that Rivian, that did not happen. In a few months, we will know what's happening in Q4 2023 and what's going to happen in Q1 2024. It's going to be really impressive to see if Rivian can sustain the growth that they've accumulated this year. Can they expand that growth? This is what I'm looking for. I know this company can do so much better, and I'm expecting it. My expectations are high, but at the same time, I'm keeping it relatively low because I'm reiterating to myself that we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. This company is still building out. They're still building up infrastructure. So essentially, a lot of great things to look forward to from Rivian. Now, if I look at Polestar, one of my favorite EV companies, if not my favorite EV company. Let's look at Polestar in Q4 2022. They did extremely well, almost $1 billion in revenue. But you can clearly tell, in Q1 2023, it was almost half that at $546 million. And this is exactly what I mean. The end of the year is usually extremely great, and the start of the year is usually a little bit slow. And to be honest, it's kind of continued for Polestar throughout last year. It was a slow year for them. In fact, they reduced the guidance expectations. Production numbers were decreased. I think it was decreased from 80,000 to around 60 to 70,000. And I think they've just crossed 60,000 deliveries. The scary thing is that Rivian is catching up really quickly. Rivian will most likely deliver more cars, more EVs than Polestar this year. It's realistically possible. So that is one key takeaway that I do like to see. But try to understand, Rivian, how that company is operated, it's a little bit different from Polestar. One, Polestar is owned by Volvo. Polestar relies on Volvo for a lot of things, in especially infrastructure. The factories, they're all owned by Volvo and Geely. So relying on another company, even though it's your parent company, it's still risky business. Now, Rivian, on the other hand, they don't rely on anyone. They've got their own factory and they're building another one. So things are a little bit different for Rivian. In fact, I would argue things are better for Rivian because they don't have a parent company. They're quite independent, which means that they're more flexible. They're free to do a lot more things. They've got a huge lead in the EV market in the US. They've got a great position in that market. They're positioned to do a lot better than they're doing currently. You can obviously foresee that. Rivian for a long time has been one of the most anticipated company in the US market, in the world, as an EV company. And it's proven that it can go from 20,000 deliveries in 2022, I think, to over 50,000 deliveries last year in 2023. What will they accomplish in 2024? 70,000, 80,000, 90,000? Personally, I would be happy with 75,000 EVs this year, 2024. And next year, 2025, we're looking at over 100,000 EVs from Rivian. That would be extraordinary. So great things to look forward to. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.